Hi, welcome to the I Teach 3D channel. My name is Brad, and today we're going to learn about creating a decal material in UDK. And I'm going to start with a new level here, and actually I kind of like to go around to the other side where I can have the sun at my back and I can see stuff, so that's just where I like it. Alright, to start this, I've actually got a pre-made material that I created called sample rings. You can see it right here, and I've got some green rings around the outside, some red boxes, and then a blue star in the middle with some text right there, and we're going to use that and bring it into UDK. So I'll start by opening up the content browser, and I can actually, instead of importing, I can actually just drag that in. So I'm using a PNG, and it's just a green, red, and blue texture in there. So I'm just going to drag it onto a blank space right in there. Pull this over. Whoops. And then it's going to ask me what package would I like to bring it into. I'm just going to bring it into a test package. We'll just call it decal. Whoops. We will call it decal package. And in the name, I can leave the name the same, the sample rings, and everything else looks good. We'll just say OK. And it's going to create it, and I'll click Open New Packages. There's Decal Package right there. And I'd like to connect this to a material. So I'll right-click here on my desktop and say New Decal Material. So it brings it up. It's going to put it in the same package I just had. And I'll just call this BJS, those are my initials, decal matte. So BJS decal matte, and we'll say OK. Alright, so that brings up my material editor. I'll bring it up here so you can see it. And over here is my preview. As you can see, there's nothing really showing up here. Let's go ahead and get that material or that texture in here. So from the content browser, I can actually just take it and drag it right into there. I'm working with a small screen, so you'll have to bear with me for recording. Alright, so I've got it in here as a texture sample, and just to have some fun with it, we're also going to add a rotator to it. We're going to rotate each of these colored channels a different direction. So I'd like to bring in a rotator. If I right-click here in my material editor, rotating is a coordinate, and so we'll go Coordinates, New Rotator. And I'll select it. I press Control on my keyboard in order to move around the node, and then I will, this expression, I'll take it, connect it here. And I have these two connected. Now, I'm going to hold Control and Alt. We're going to duplicate these. So holding Control and Alt, I'll marquee select both of them, and then I will Control C, Control V. It creates a duplicate. Holding Control, I can drag those two down there. And then let's do it again, Control C, Control V. Since I have three different colors, I'm going to have three different channels, a red, green, and blue channel right there. And that's what we'll use, is those red, green, and blue channels for these. So, alright, well, first of all, if I'm going to combine this, I only have one. I can put it in the diffuse channel, but it actually probably would look better if we threw it in the emissive channel. That's for like glowing objects or glowing materials. So it would look really good if I threw that in there. So for instance, if I just threw the red channel into the emissive, you can see that the stuff that is red here, the graphics that are red, they show up here. But I can't throw all of them in there at the same time. If I try to attach the green one, then only the green one shows up here. So I need to combine these together somehow. The way we do that, oops, give it just a moment to recover. The way we do that, actually, I'm going to close this. The way we do that is we're going to add an add expression. So I'm going to add an add expression, and I probably need to make some room, so I'm going to hold Control and Alt and marquee select these, and then pull them back a little bit. And in order to add an add expression, I can do one of two things. I can actually, the easy way is to hold the A and click, and it adds an add expression. And then what I'll do is I'm just simply, you can see there's two channels here. I'll connect the, let's start from the outer rings and move inward. So the green, I'll connect to the A. The next one on the inside is the red channel, so let's take that and connect that to B. And now what happens if I connect this add into the emissive channel, you'll see that both of the green and the red are showing up here. And again, there's no room for the blue one, so let's include one more add. Another way to add an add is if I right-click, adding is a math expression, so I'll come down here to math, and then it says new add. It's the same thing. So I'll click that, and holding control, move it, and then I can bring on the blue channel into the B channel, and then this add, the output channel of the add, let's drag that down here to the A channel of this add, and then this add, the output channel, let's grab that and connect it to the emissive channel. And then you'll see all three channels showing up in here. Now I'd kind of like to clean this up a little bit, so I'm going to hold Control and Alt and drag these things back by holding Control. And that makes it just a little bit cleaner, so I can now see what's going on. So that's kind of neat. So now all the things are showing up here. Let's zoom in just a little bit by right-clicking and moving my mouse a little bit. You can see that all three channels that I'm using here are actually showing up here. Well, that's kind of neat. Let's go ahead and save this by clicking on the green check mark. Now, I put 3 different rotators, and I really wouldn't have had to do that. If they were all going to go the same direction, I simply could have taken the rotator and connected it to all 3 of these UV inputs there. But I would like, for instance, let's say the red one to move the opposite direction. So I'll go to my red channel, which is right here. Let's click on that rotator, and then down here where it says speed, I want it to go the opposite direction. So let's just put a negative in there, and then hit enter. And now all of a sudden you'll see that the red channel is going the opposite direction. And let's make the green channel spin a whole lot faster. So here's the green one. I'll click on that rotator. Instead of 0.25, how about doubling it, 0.5? And we're going to double the speed of that. So now we've got a nice slow center. We have the red channel is going the opposite direction, and then the green channel is going much faster there. Alright, that looks good, except I can see that it's actually duplicating on here. It's kind of well, it's just wrapping around is what it's doing. So let's fix the wrap. The way we do that is I'll actually have to go back into my content browser. So I will click on my content browser button, bring the content browser back up. And here in the actual texture itself, let's go into the texture editor. If I double click it, brings up my texture properties, and you'll see the X and Y are wrapping. Well, if we click those and just clamp them, set them to clamp, that gets rid of that. You can even see already it's gotten rid of it over here in the material editor. It gets rid of it. Let's close it. We're done with it. And I kind of like what I see there, and so I'm going to close it. And you can see already it has stopped wrapping around. Alright, well that looks pretty good for now. Let's go and actually apply it. We'll come back and do some more to this. So I'm going to save it, and when I save it, that makes it updates the changes and saves the material so that I can use it in my actual scene. So, alright, so I will close this, and I'm just going to apply it to this cube that already exists here in the default scene. So I can open my content browser, and that decal material right there, I can actually just simply click and drag it over to a surface, and it shows it right on it. So that's kind of neat. And with the surface, with the decal selected, I can actually move it around on there. I can move it off to the side and all sorts of things to it. Now let me show you something else here that's kind of neat about it. Is that it actually has thickness to it. And to demonstrate that, I'm going to bring my builder brush. I'll bring it out a little bit, and let's shrink that a little bit to, let's see, I'm going to right click on my builder brush cube, and let's just make that like 16 width on the y-axis is what we'd really like to do, 16. Alright, and then I'll pull it out just a bit, and let's build it, close it, and then I'm going to click my add to it. So it's added in there. Let's create another one. How about out here, and click add again. Now you'll see that, how come they're not there? Well, I have to actually update I have to build my geometry. So I'll click build, and quickly builds it. And what's going on here? I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird. Oh, I know what's going on. What's going on is that I have the material selected here in my content browser, and whenever you have a material selected in your content browser, when you create something here, it puts the material right on it. So this is actually covered in those two brushes. Those additive brushes are actually covered in the decal material here. That's what's going on there. I don't really want that. Let's throw a different kind of material on there. Or actually, we'll just, let's delete those. I'll go into wireframe mode, and I'm going to delete those two brushes, and just to make it simple and easy. And then let's recreate them. And this time I won't have the decal material selected. So let's try one more time. So that was a quick little learning lesson there. Now I'll make sure in my content browser, I'll just deselect right there so I don't have anything selected in my content browser. So I can close it. Now I will additive. I will pull it out a little bit more. Additive again. There we go. And then if I'd like to hide the builder brush, I can just press B on my keyboard, and that will that'll hide my builder brush on there. So there it is. Alright, now what I'd like to do is there's my decal, and just to show you that the decal has thickness to it, I select it, and I'm going to actually pull it out here. And you can see that there is this white line right there indicating that it's got volume or thickness to it, and there it is as I pulled it out. Now there's still an artifact of the ones we deleted in there because I did not rebuild, so if I hit build geometry, this one should go away, which it does, and now you can see that my decal, because it has thickness, I didn't even have to apply it to these two pieces. Because it has thickness, it just automatically is showing up on them. Alright, that's kind of neat. Let's do a couple other things here with it, because, well, I guess that's good for now. But I can move it all around if I'd like. Okay, a couple other things that we would like to do is, it's white right now. What if I'd like to change the color of it, and or throw something in there? Let's do that. We'll change the color. So I'm going back into my content browser and bring up the material editor for my decal material by double-clicking it. And when the material editor comes back up, I'm going to expand it just a little bit so we can make the maximum use of our space here. And what if I really do want the green to be green, the red to be red, and the blue to be blue? Let's go ahead and add those things in. So I need to get add a red color to it. To add a red color into it, I need to get a constant 3-vector expression. I will go to Window, we'll open up the expressions, and I'll just type the word constant in there, and it shows up. Constant 3-vector has 3 color channels, R, G, and B, red, green, blue. That's what I'm looking for. Currently they're all set to black, which is 0, 0, 0. Colors in UDK are set from 0 to 1. They're floating point numbers as opposed to like a 0 to 255 number. So what we'll do, if I would like this to be red, when I select this constant 3-vector, down here in Properties I have RGB channels. I'll just simply make the red channel 1. And it turns red. And let's see, my red is down here, so actually let me throw this down with the red one. And I'm going to Control-C, Control-V, and this one will be, I'll hook this up to my green channel. With this one selected, if I'd like this color to be green, then I will make red 0, and let's make green 1. And then when it turns green, now I can hook these two up. But I've got I can't just hook this up to my A channel, because then it releases my texture sample there, and it just turns it green. So I've got to bring these two together. The way we'll do that is we're going to use a multiply. Let me hold Control and Alt and select these and move them back so we can make room for our multiply. In order to get a multiply, I can go back into multiply as a math function, so I could go here and click multiply. That's one way. The other way is just press holding M and clicking. So I'll move this into the A channel. I will move my green channel into the B channel. Let's hook this multiply up into the A channel of the add, and now you'll see that the texture sample is now green. Let's do the same thing for this red channel. I already have my red colored there. And I'll have to move this back again, and we'll move these down to make room. I'm kind of running out of space here on this. I'll zoom out just a little to make room for it. So we'll pull that back just a little bit. I'd like to get a multiply. I will hold M and click. Brings up my multiply. And then I'll connect the red to the A channel. I'll connect this red to the B channel. And then we'll connect the output of the multiply to the B channel. And now you can see the red shows up here. Let's do that one more time right here. So I'm going to Control C. I'm going to use my this constant 3 vector. I will Control C, Control V it to get one right here. Let's make that a blue channel. So I'll make sure that red and green are 0 and blue is going to be 1.0. Makes it blue. I need a multiply in here, so I'll simply hold M and click. Brings up the multiply. I can connect the blue channel to A, connect this blue channel to B, and then we'll connect the multiply to our B channel of the add over here. And then you can see now that I've added color to all 3 of those, and they are all connected to the emissive channel. I will save it again. And then we'll go back in and make sure that that my viewport has updated from there. So we're waiting on it. It takes just a moment. I will close this and close my. You can see it's updated here as well in my content browser. Close this, and sure enough, it updated right in my scene. So by saving that material, it updated right in here. So that's kind of neat. Good again. All right. That's the lesson for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching.